Hey, year 10s. So it's tonight right here, right now. Today you are going to learn about index notation and the first index law. So when we talk about index form, we can think of something as like this. And if I write numbers like this, let's say, for example, there we go, or these would all be in index form. And the way we would say these, if we were talking about them, this would be a to the power of n, or 2 to the power of 4, or x to the power of 3 would be how we would say these, where a is the base, 2 is the base, and x is the base, and m is the power, 4 is the power, and 3 is the power. So that would be kind of a way to think about index notation. Sometimes people also call it the index. And that is kind of a good little summary to start when we talk about index notation. Let me just get a new little sheet up just so I can keep talking about this with you guys. So the next thing that I'm going to want to talk about is when you kind of have that in your head, the next thing we can do is we can think about three things. If I said 5 to the power of 3, it's also equal to 5 times 5 times 5, which is also equal to 125. And if I were to talk about all these, this would be index form right here. That's index form right there. That's index form right there. This right here is expanded form. What I think of when I think of like, what does it mean? If I said 5 to the power of 3, what does it mean? It means 5 times 5 times 5. And then you can also have a basic numeral, which is what it equals. And that's the three ways to think about it. The other helpful thing to think about is if I asked you on your calculator to type this in, if I asked you to represent this, and you don't have the ability to write this, you can also write it as 5, and then you press this button on your calculator. Some people call it the caret symbol. I also call it the hat symbol because it looks like a hat. And then you press the 3, and then that would give you 125 on your calculator. So that's how you would type it in your calculator. So that should help you with the first example. You're being asked to write something in expanded form. If I gave you something like xy to the power of 3, that would be an expanded form xy times xy times, that's not the neatest, times xy 3 times. So that's how you would write that. Let me get one more, or I probably need another couple in here. So the next thing, when you get in the second example, I'm going to give you some things and go the other way. So if I gave you something like this, if I gave you 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and asked you to write it in index form, to represent this in index form. First of all, you write your base. So all those 3's would be your base. Then how many times do you multiply them together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'd be 3 to the power of 5. Similarly, if I gave you y times y times y times y, your base would be y, and your exponent would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the power of 4. If I give you another example, if I said, let's go with 4 times x times x times 4 times x, and asked you to write it in index form, the first thing I would do is I'd collect things together to be nice and neat. So I'd collect my 4's together first. So I'd do 4 times 1, 2, 3 x's times x times x times x. What's 4 times 4? 4 times 4 could be written as 16, but you also write it as 4 to the power of 2 since we're writing this in index form. And then you would do 1, 2, 3, so my base is x to the power of 3. So that'd be another one. And finally, I could give you a whole mix of them. So if I gave you something like this, let's see if I can squeeze D in. A times B times B times A times B times B. Oops, times B. What you can do is you can look and you can reorganize things. So it's 1 times 2 A's. Make sure you do it in, you can get it in alphabetical form, so it's nice and neat. So there's my 2 A's, and next I got to do 4 B's. So times 1. Yikes, that's a very messy multiply sign. Times B times B times B. It all fits there now. So that's A squared B to the power of 4 in index form. So there's your 4 examples, and that should really help you with practice number 2. If you want to stop right now and press pause on the video and do practice number 2 and come back, you can. Practice number 3. What you're going to do is I'm going to give you something like this. If I asked you to do this, where I said simplify, I asked to simplify. So if I gave you A, which is x to the power of 7 times x to the power of 4. So one thing to know is whenever you do this, you can think of it in expanded form as 7 x's. So that'd be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7 x's times, so there's your 7 x's right there, so that right there is your 7 right there, your 7 x's, and then we're going to continue on times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So that would be this right here. So that was really fun, and I'm sure you're really excited about the opportunity to write that so many times. We don't have to do it. I'm going to show you the shortcut. But if you were to count this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that'd be x to the power of 11. So there's a shortcut to do this. So what I do is I do x equals, so I'll go x 7 plus 4. And what is 7 plus 4 equal to? 11. So that would be the shortcut method right there. You do not need to do that where you draw it all out, but I'm just showing you how this rule works and why it works, why you can just add the exponents when multiplying. So let's try another B. B, I'll do A squared, B squared times AB to the power of 3. Sorry, I just have that in the way. So what you can do is you can reorganize it to be A, and then I do 2 plus, and the exponent right here is 1. We just don't write our 1s. And B, and then I would do 2 plus 3, which equals, A equals what's 2 plus 1? It's 3. B, and what's 2 plus 3? And that is 5. Hope that makes sense. One last example. Let's see if we can squeeze one last in, and then I'm done for the day, and I might even squeeze it in under 10 minutes. All right. So for this one, last simplify. So this is example C. I just run out of room. Oh, sorry, no. Example C. With example C, it's 3x squared y to the power of 3 times 4x to the power of 3 y to the power of 4. So when I do these ones, the first thing I do is I group my numerals together. So it's going to be 3 times 4, close brackets. So now I do my x, and so I do x2 right here, plus 3, and then I'm going to do y3 from right here, plus 4 right there, which equals 3 times 4 makes 12. X 2 plus 3 makes 5, y 3 plus 4 makes 7, and that's how you simplify, and that should help you with practice 3. Hope you're all doing well under 10 minutes. Take care.